welcome to Beyond the Loch. In this series we're talking to some of our local heroes, the voices behind the tours, those that are welcoming visitors from across the globe, creating memories to last a lifetime. Today we're thrilled to be joined by local crofter Iain Macleod, whose Highland Cow Tours have become legendary and a must-do activity for so many of the visitors coming to the area. Iain, a very warm welcome.
Thank you.
Iain, can you tell us about why you started the Highland Cow Tours and when you perhaps thought about the idea, bringing it together and inviting people to what is your family home here above Loch Ness?
We looked at other ways of making a little bit of extra money to keep the croft going. This is what you call a croft in the Highlands, and the best way to describe a croft is it's too big for a hobby and too small for a living. So we're always looking for extra ways to earn money, basically to buy extra food for all the animals. We've got cattle and sheep and horses on this croft, and we've tried different ways of doing it, but like most things, over a whisky we decided to give this a try. Opened up the place to invite people to come and meet our Highland cows.
Fantastic. I know from speaking to you and the difference that it's very authentic here today. I know from speaking to you that what a difference it has made, and at one point you were looking at having to sell potentially the Highland cows, and maybe telling our viewers a little bit about that and what it means to be able to hold on to them.
We were definitely looking at cutting our numbers back, cutting back the sheep and the cows. But what this has done, the tours that we've been doing for just over 2 years now, it allows us to buy all the winter feed to keep them through. Most of my animals have names and they're our pets, and we've had them since they were born. Terrible businessman really, naming animals and feeding them all winter. But this little tours has pretty much saved the way that our way of life here on the croft.
Yeah, it's a fabulous part of the story, and I know it's something that resonates deeply with the visitors who come here. We see that in our reviews, where they know that the money that they've spent is staying here and feeding these animals here on the croft.
Yeah, I'd like to say I go on holiday 3 times a year, but it's actually all our money goes back into the croft and back into the animals.
Absolutely, which is typical crofting.
Yeah.
Iain, you do offer something really, really special up here. People are able to get up close and personal, where they can hand feed the cows. They're a little bit full today after many tours. How do you feel, perhaps how the cows are responding to the tours, and perhaps touching on how the guests react?
So all the cows go over to the east side of the place to sleep at night, but in the morning when I come out, they're all lined up here waiting for people to come and feed them. The treats are quite clever because they're actually full of vitamins and minerals, but they're held together with molasses, which makes it nice and sweet for them. So they need that amount of vitamins and minerals every day anyway. So by hand feeding them, it just personalises it for the people to meet the cows. There's always an element of risk with it, so you do have to watch their horns when you're feeding them. That's why we focus on small groups, so we can keep everyone safe and keep everyone that personal side as well. And like to talk about our history here. Our family's been here I've got 2 grandsons, and they're the 8th generation, so we've been here a long time. So that's why we keep it small and personal.
Yeah, the 8 generations always blows my mind, and I know from speaking to some of our visitors from overseas, when I tell them that, it just completely, they can't compute that a family would be. But then when you see the backdrop here and just how beautiful the place is, it's easy to understand why your family wasn't in a hurry to leave.
Yeah.
You talked about the horns there on the cows. I know that they're all different, and they have their own personalities. If I could perhaps be a little bit risky and ask, whilst they close their ears, do you have a favourite?
Oh no, I can't have a favourite. It would cause all sorts of problems. But you're right about the cows, though. They do have individual characters. There's a pecking order within the fold. So from the top of the tree, who is Fiona, she's the boss. We've got the drama queen and the diva cow called Lady Jane, all the way down to little Heather there behind me. She gets bullied by all the other cows. So We have to look after her, but she manipulates people into extra treats, so she's doing fine.
She's not daft. I'm hoping that Chris is able to get a shot of some of the beautiful animals that we have behind us here. Perhaps, again, looking back on what it means to you as that local crofter, sharing your land and your animals with people from across the globe. You, I know, are extremely passionate about what you do here, and it comes across in all your tours. And for anyone that's out there, please look at our the reviews. There's various social media accounts: Loch Ness Highland Cows, Loch Ness Hub and Travel. You'll just see 5-star ratings across the globe. But when you're talking to people, Iain, what are the things that you notice most resonates with them? What memories do you feel they go away with from here, from the Croft?
I mean, we've had people here from pretty much all over the world, even locals coming up to experience it. The tours are obviously animal orientated, so you're going to come if you're an animal lover. I've even had people coming with their wives, and they got into it as well. And the fact you can hand feed them in a safe environment, people just seem to enjoy doing it. Most people do seem to enjoy it, and it's an authentic experience. I talk about crofting, I talk about the sheep, I talk about the cows. Different times of year, there's obviously different things happening, so people enjoy learning about crofting in the Highlands.
Yeah, if I could maybe expand on that, Iain. Crofting is very much that way of life here. If you could maybe tell us something, or tell the viewers what they may not realise about crofting, and touching on the farming element, what actually constitutes being a croft. And I know, but perhaps telling them a little bit more about, you're also a full-time fireman.
Yeah, like most people around here, there's maybe only 3 or 4 full-time farmers in this whole of Glen Urquhart. The rest are crofters, and they have another job which brings the money in. I've worked for the fire service in Inverness for over 20 years, and that's what pays the bills. And everything we make just gets poured back in on improvements, animal welfare, constantly changing machinery to keep things going. We stopped making our own hay and silage 5 or 6 years ago because our place is very steep and it became quite dangerous. So we buy it all in from, I've got 3 people in the village that I buy my feed in from, and they do a great service making good feed for their winter. When we're going into the winter now, our feeding winters here are about 180 days. And the rule of thumb when we're working out our feed is 10 cows eat 1 bale in 1 day. So we go through a lot of bales, between 500 and 600 bales between hay, straw and silage. So.
And the average price of a bale, which is going up?
Ranging between 25 and 40 pounds a bale, which varies depending on quality and where you get it.
We'll let the viewers at home do the sums on that one. Yeah, it's a lot of money. Iain, if I could perhaps bring you back to the community here, which I know I've known you a long time, which you're also so passionately about, but how the local community and Drumnadrochit has supported what we're trying to do here together with the Highland Cow Tours, and what that means to you and what it means to families.
Well, when we first sort of come out with the idea and decided to give it a go, obviously we've known each other for well over 30 years now, but it was the first place I went was to have a conversation with yourself to see if we could work together. And I think without the hub, this would never have got off the ground. The work that you do with the advertising and the booking system and the inquiries, you've taken that all off us because we have a croft to run and we've got our jobs to do. So the fact that you do all that for us and has been fantastic. And then slowly the reviews came in, and then it became more popular. But we've stuck with the small numbers simply because I like the personal side of it, and the cows prefer it when there's only half a dozen to 8 people at a time. Yeah. Because if the cows aren't happy, then they just walk off. They're not forced to do anything. They're animals. They'll do whatever they want. They've also got big horns, which they use against me if I try to. But no, the hub and the community down there has been great. And over the last 3 years, I've really seen it growing with other businesses operating from the hub as well. So
yeah, I think it's important that viewers recognise that we are a very small village. We all have to try and help each other. That collaboration, I think, is increasing on a regular basis. We've been out and seen some of the boat tour operators. It's fabulous, and it's great to have you as a part of that. Perhaps a loaded question, but why do you think meeting Highland cows in this setting, in these surroundings, in what is, as we've said, your private family home, feels so different from anything else in the Highlands and arguably Scotland?
When I first started doing this, I did have a wee look around to see what else was available, and the positioning here with the view of the castle and the loch and the history of the Croft. We've got some special cows at the moment as well that are, you know, they do like coming over and they do like getting treats. So we've not really, what's the word, you know, we've not really forced it. We've just tried to keep it real and keep it what it is. And sometimes people come and the cows are quite happy lying down chewing their cud. They won't even stand up. It's up to the animals at the end of the day, but they get a lot out of it as well. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think you're a very humble person, Iain. I know that you come across incredibly well in your tours. You're so authentic, genuinely passionate about your animals, about your family home here. We're privileged to work with you. Iain, I'd like to thank you for your time today, and of course these guys here. If you're coming to the Loch Ness area and you would like to book a Highland Cow Tour, please visit lochnesstravel.com. That's lochnesstravel.com, where you can book online. And if you follow any of the social media accounts, then you will see updates from the cows, any of the new calves that are born. You may even be able to enter a competition to name one of the calves. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and come back and see us on the next episode of Beyond the Loch. Thank you for watching.